unpack and talk about, was that a struggle to bring your buddy in, or was it just something that like you weren't covering the basis as best as you wanted to?
Both. I mean, so the property management had started to gain some pretty good momentum, and so had construction because I kind of sold it as a package deal. And I was not effectively managing the projects to where we were making money on the construction side. We weren't hitting deadlines, and starting to realize that I probably got fired as a project manager from my last construction job because I wasn't good at it. And he had the entrepreneurial bug that I do, and like I said, I've known him for 15 years when we got started together. And I was like, listen, Adam, I was like, you understand construction. And he started looking at me like, well, he was like, you don't even have it priced right. He's like, your margins are all wrong. I was like, explain that to me, So, so anyway, I like to think that I have a little bit of an ego, but I'm also can be really humble. And I'm like, listen, I need your help here. Like, you come in, here's the opportunities that I can bring to the table. Let me focus on what I'm good at, which is sales, which is vision casting, which is putting all the systems in place. Get the systems in place. I just need somebody to help execute the systems. I was like, listen, I'll bring you leads for days. I just need you to execute on construction. Well, I know that he's managed, multi-$100 million projects internationally. I knew that he could handle a handful of renovations, and he's done a great job. And I knew that for me to succeed, I needed more help, and I was willing to give up equity, and I was willing to, be humble enough to say, listen, I can't do this alone, because you can't. There's always a team.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part as an entrepreneur, and it's kind of my go-to this week. I seem to have themes that I hang on to, whether it be my reading or something. I think a lot of times let's say there's a big tree, and we as an entrepreneur walk out on said limb, and we get to the end of it, and then we go, what the fuck are we doing here? I don't want to be here. And I did that with Airbnb, and it's an ego death, because in my head, dude, I want to be the Airbnb guy. Wait, I hate this. And I think you have to have a real conversation with yourself, which I think the secret weapon is self-awareness.
Yeah. And that's something that I've really always kind of been aware of myself, and what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. And this, that was kind of me, overrunning my skis a little bit, or whatever you want to say. But, being aware to know that I am, and then looking at the performance and saying, I am not performing where I want to be for the company that I want to build. And now we're running and we're doing what I want to do. And we're right back in there.